Welcome to the deep dive. We cut through the noise to get to what matters. Today we're digging into a really prominent figure in American real estate, Donald J. Trump. Our mission, to unpack the paradox of his career. You've got these huge successes, right? But also some pretty significant failures, and it's all tangled up with this incredibly aggressive personal brand. We've got some fascinating sources lined up.
Yeah, and Trump's story is, well, it's compelling, especially for you, the learner, because it's such a public case study. You see how financial problems, sometimes deep ones, were almost spun into public recognition. It makes you think about how brand value can, in some ways, seem to outweigh tangible assets. It really challenges that standard definition of success.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay,
so let's unpack his start. This wasn't exactly a rags to riches situation,
right.
Was it?
No, definitely not. He inherited Trump management from his father, Fred Trump. Fred built, thousands of units, mostly low and middle income housing. Donald took over around 71, renamed it the Trump Organization.
And then shifted focus pretty dramatically, right, to Manhattan.
Exactly. He went for these glamorous, high-profile projects in Manhattan. It was a move his father actually thought was way too risky.
Interesting. So the risk-taking started early.
And the branding. The genius, really, was the Trump brand itself. It quickly got tied to this idea of luxury exclusivity, often just through licensing the name.
So he could make money without putting up massive amounts of his own capital?
Precisely. Generate income, expand the brand reach, and that brand, that personal brand, it kind of acted as a financial buffer, too. There were reports that banks kept him going because, well, he was seen as maybe too big to fail.
Or just too public. Too much attention.
Yeah, perhaps too public to let collapse. It's complex.
Okay, so with this brand kind of cushioning things, did that embolden him? Lead to big wins like, say, Trump Tower? Tell us about that one.
Oh, absolutely. Trump Tower was huge for cementing that luxury brand.
Yeah.
Pivotal. Back in '79, he got the old Bonwit Teller building right there next to Tiffany's on Fifth Avenue.
Prime location.
The best. And the Vision was the first ultra-luxury skyscraper in that spot.
Right, and didn't he manage to build it like much taller than the zoning usually allowed? How did he swing that?
That's where it gets really interesting. It was some pretty brilliant legal and zoning maneuvering. He bought what they call air rights from Tiffany & Co. next door.
Air rights, like the empty space above their building?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
The unused development potential. It let him add almost 200,000 square feet, tack on an extra 20 stories.
And what did that cost him?
Reports say around $5 million for those rights, which, given the value added, turned into incredible profit. Plus, he used zoning rules cleverly. He built that 5-story atrium, with the waterfall.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. It's quite grand.
Well, by making it public space, he got incentives for even more floor area.
So he was making money from, like, thin air, invisible assets.
In a way, yeah. And even the controversies, like removing those old Art Deco panels from the Bonwit Teller building.
That caused a stir, didn't it?
It did. But it also fueled publicity. It showed how even negative attention could sort of feed the brand machine.
Okay, so that's the triumph side. Making money off air and rules, but there's a flip side, isn't there? Let's talk Atlantic City, the casinos.
Right. A very different story. A really consequential failure, you could say. Take the Trump Taj Mahal. He called it the 8th wonder of the world. Cost about $1 billion to build.
$1 billion? How was that financed?
Mostly with high-risk junk bonds. Think really high interest rates, like 14%. Very risky.
14%. Ouch. So what happened?
Well, the downfall was incredibly fast. It went into bankruptcy just 1 year after opening its doors in 1991.
1 year after all that hype.
Yeah, the revenues just couldn't keep up with those massive debt payments, crushing debt.
Wow. Was that just a one-off bad bet, or was there a pattern?
Well, looking at the record, it really wasn't isolated. His casino companies actually declared bankruptcy 4 times.
4 times?
Yep. 1991 with the Taj, then again in 92, 2004, and 2009 involving his other casino holdings. It points to a strategy that seemed maybe more focused on spectacle than on solid business fundamentals.
Like ignoring the market. Atlantic City was getting pretty saturated, wasn't it?
Exactly. Ignoring market conditions, relying too heavily on risky loans. And, the impact wasn't just on investors, a lot of small businesses, contractors. They were often left unpaid when these big ventures went under.
Right, that's an important point. Okay, so bringing it all together, what does this tell us? You have Trump Tower vision, bending the rules, a big win. Then Atlantic City, weak operations, bad risk assessment, big failure.
Yeah, it really highlights the core paradox, and it raises this key question, doesn't it? How did his personal brand manage to amplify both the successes and the failures? But crucially, that brand often allowed him to keep generating income personally, licensing his name, staying in the public eye, even when the companies themselves were bankrupt.
So success for him might have meant something different, like publicity, brand recognition.
Possibly. And extricating himself from tough financial spots while keeping the brand intact. It does challenge how we normally define business success.
It's just incredible, the sheer power of a personal brand, how it can build things up, but also how tied the business is to that one person. It seems like a double-edged sword, maybe.
Absolutely. I think Trump's career is a really potent reminder, isn't it? You need that balance. You need the big vision, sure. But you also desperately need sound business fundamentals, careful financial planning, prudence. It leaves you thinking, what aspects of this kind of intense brand power do you see playing out today with other public figures, where that line between their identity and their business is just so blurred? Something to think about.